Hey guys!
Hello!
Welcome back to another Budget With Us video.
Oh.
We have no money.
Yeah, Freya, there's no money.
We broke.
Yeah.
We can't do a budget video with no money.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I have another idea. Okay, so instead, today, we're going to talk about why we budget our financial priorities the way that we do.
Yes, you guys have all heard us talk about Dave Ramsey and the baby steps and how we follow that system, but if you pay any attention to our videos, we don't. Dave Ramsey says to keep a $1,000 emergency fund and then throw everything else at debt. And if you've been following along for the last little while, you know that we do not do that. And we wanted to talk a little bit about why.
So for years we did follow the Dave Ramsey thing. We only had a $1,000 emergency fund. We put a lot of extra money towards debt. We've paid down a lot of debt and then gotten ourselves back into debt because we didn't have more than a $1,000 emergency fund.
Yeah, so the $1,000 emergency fund was great for all of the little emergencies, you know, stuff breaking or needing like a couple days off work for an emergency or something like that. It was great for that. Oh, this little fussy butt.
He just wants to stay with mom.
But the nature of what I do for work and the way my income occurs, I guess, just didn't really make that feasible. We need a much larger safety net because I don't have a steady income. I work project basis, shutdown to shutdown kind of deal. So there's a lot of feast or famine. So when, you know, this 2-month shutdown I just did, for instance, we made a lot of money in a very short period of time. And if we were to have kept only $1,000 of that and put the rest on debt, we'd have made a huge dent in our OPD is what we're working on paying off right now. It's the smallest debt we have. But then we would have $0 saved up for when I go back to work. Now, thankfully, I got a call yesterday that I should be going back to work next week or the week after for a month, hopefully 2. So that's not too bad. But it is not unheard of for me to have 6 months between gigs. So we need to pile up as much money as we can.
Yeah.
And have it for the long term. So in a lot of ways, we're trying to avoid going farther into debt and just relying on making our minimum payments at times. Now that's going to change once we save up a lot of money. We'd like to have our 3-month emergency fund locked away and then hopefully 3 months in future expenses accounted for. And then after that, it's going to be full bore Dave Ramsey.
Yes.
And just, you know, get after it.
So if you guys have been watching us for a little while, you'll know over this past month when Cody worked this last shutdown, we paid for all of August and all of September's bills. It's now September 11th. And most of October is covered with the exception of the rest of our groceries, our gas, and then our sinking funds. But all of our bills are taken care of. Yeah. And our debt payments we don't have covered either. But like our rent, our power, our internet, half of our food, half of our gas, our subscriptions, like all of that is covered. No, she's going to ask to come back over here. But so our plan is to try to get at least 30 days ahead. We pushed it a little farther ahead because we knew that this project was coming to an end and we didn't know if and when Cody would return to work. It's already a really unpredictable work environment for him, not taking COVID into account.
Oh yeah, because that threw a wrench into things.
So we wanted to plan for that, but you'll also notice that in YNAB I've added in like an actual category for 3-month emergency fund where I've broken out what 3 months of rent is, what 3 months of the car payment is. And so we're actively working towards that goal as well. And yes, you could just budget ahead in YNAB those 3 months, but we wanted to have that completely separate. So we wanted to save up our 3-month emergency fund and budget ahead as far as we could.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So we've done the Dave Ramsey thing for the last like 5 years. We've paid off almost $200,000 in debt.
At this point I think we're over $200,000 of money put towards paying off debt.
Yeah.
And when we first got together, we had just over $60,000 worth of debt.
Ew, that hit my face. Gross.
Hashtag parenting.
Yeah, so, and the reason why that happened is because we only kept that minimum $1,000 emergency fund. So we would pay all of our bills, crush a bunch of debt, pay off our credit cards.
Pay off like $10,000 on the credit card.
And then boom, Cody would get laid off of work. and then he'd be off for like 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
and then we'd
And we'd
blow through
burn through that $1,000 in like 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
have to rely on the credit card
'Cause
for
we had no
gas and
savings or
groceries
anything.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
then we'd rack up the credit card again and pay it down, and then rack it up and then pay it down, and it was just years of stupid mistakes and stupid
Yeah.
financing. Yeah, Freya's like, you guys are both idiots. We know.
she knows
okay.
she knows we're stupid, so she's not surprised.
Yeah, so
She's just happy we're finally admitting it.
I guess you could say we're doing Dave-ish.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I've heard it called Dave-ish. He talks a lot about how Dave-ish doesn't work. But we listen to his podcast. I don't think we can even get his radio show up where we are. But we listen to his podcast, and he's had a few people call in, which is where we got the idea from, but saying basically the same thing. I have a really unpredictable income. $1,000 isn't enough. And kind of Dave's response was, I don't understand why this is an issue. Just have a bigger emergency fund. And then be full on Dave. So
Yeah.
that's what we're working on.
And I feel more optimistic now towards paying down our debt and actually keeping on track with our 2-year plan than I ever have before, because we feel so much financial stability and security knowing that we have that money tucked away. It is very frustrating to be a family who makes as much money as we do. And when I
Yeah.
used to work as well, we made a ridiculous amount of money. Like I look back at it, and we were taking home over 10 grand a month. That's what we took home.
Yeah.
And we
after
pay a lot for taxes in Canada. And we were still broke. Like I can't tell you how many months where we would reach the end of the month and it was like we couldn't afford to buy a loaf of bread because we only had $2.09 left in our account, and bread was like $3.29. Like it was so embarrassing. And Cody and I were just like, we're doing something wrong. And like, admittedly,
Yeah.
we make mistakes too. Like we do spend
Yeah,
a lot of money on
we're-
dining out. We do.
We're dumb.
We like to live a comfortable lifestyle. And
We do.
So a lot of
We've-
that's on us.
We really struggled to sacrifice the lifestyle.
But again, like we'd have a month where we put, $5,000 down on a credit card, almost pay it off, have like just a couple $100 left owing, and then boom, Cody's laid off work. My income's only enough to cover, at the time, yes, I know, was only enough to cover, our basic necessities. We couldn't make our debt payments. So we wound up using our credit cards. It was just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it was a lot of up and down. It was super frustrating. It probably made our credit score look good, but we all know that credit scores are good for little to nothing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if we had to do it all over again, we would have just done this from the beginning. So if you were like
Yeah.
us and work in an industry where you're like a one income family, or maybe you're not, but you both have really, can I have this? Thank you. Where you have like a really feast or famine job where you're making really good money one month and then you have no income for 2 or 3 months at a time. Plan accordingly. Just save up money.
Yeah.
Save your money. Pay for things ahead of time if you can. YNAB was a really great tool to teach us how to do that. A lot of budgeting
Yes.
software doesn't encourage you to budget ahead. But YNAB does. That's fine. Just undress me on camera. That's cool.
Mom, I want to chew on this.
So yeah, I would, if we had to do this all over again, I think right from the beginning, we would have been out of debt years ago. So we are so excited to be like hammering this now, and especially this year, showing you guys like, Cody being off work for months at a time due to COVID, being a one income family with a new baby, having a lot of debt.
new baby, yay.
And being able to share that with you guys, because this is real life. This is, it never goes according to plan. Mistakes happen. You make bad choices. And this is what we're doing to prepare.
Yeah.
This is how we're doing our debt-free journey. And we honestly love sharing this with you guys. We
really do.
We look forward every week to doing the budget videos. I'm sorry there's not a budget with us this week. We have no money.
Yeah.
Cody's not working.
Yeah. And also, the government recently got hacked or something, so they changed up their whole security thing. So we have been unable to apply for EI until just today.
Yeah.
Because I was finally able to get through, and God, what a farce that was.
Yeah. But we could complain about our government forever.
I mean,
we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, this isn't a politics channel.
Cody has very strong opinions on politics.
They're criminals, all of them.
But you guys got
Besides the point.
You guys got to see a beautiful
Yeah.
dose of baby Freya.
Look at this. Cute little monkey.
Baby
Gonna
cuteness.
go for the... No, you can't have the mic.
Look at the camera. Who's that baby?
Who's that baby?
Is that you?
One thing I will say, since we've started building a bigger emergency fund, there's much less stress around the household. I'm much less frustrated and angry because it would, like, I can't imagine how demeaning and belittled I would have felt to go spend 2 straight months in camp, only to, yay, I reduced the debt pile, and then I come home and have Valerie, like, on my first day off, being
hey,
like,
we might be homeless.
you need to go back to work because we have no money. And just being like, what do you mean we have no money? I just made 14 grand.
Yeah. Like,
it is so much less frustrating now. There's so much more peace around my time off. Because that's the thing, you have time or you have money when you do what I do. You very rarely get both. So it's nice to have a little bit of buffer with the time so that I can enjoy this cute little smiling face.
Yeah. So yeah, we just wanted to share something with you guys this week. We wanted to keep sharing our life with you, and so even though we couldn't budget with us, you get a chat with us. So it's a different,
you get a little bit of the philosophy behind who we are and what we do.
Different style of video, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you liked it, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Let us know. Maybe we'll do some more.
If you like it, if you hate it, like it 3 times.
If you're
hopefully
new here,
we're improving.
Yeah.
If you're new, subscribe, ring the bell. If you have an actual bell, ring that too, because how fun would that be? I mean, Freya wants to ring the bell.
Freya's wanting that microphone real
It's
bad.
a microphone. She doesn't know it's not a bell, but she's 8 months old. Cut her some slack.
So hopefully you could still hear us okay with our noisy little monkey
Screaming little banshee over here.
But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of our journey.
Yeah.
And we will chat with you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.